Hello, my name is Dr. Terry Lyles. I'm excited to introduce my program, Performance Under Pressure, what that really means, what that looks like for you and your environment. I want to say especially thank you to AmeriLife for the opportunity to be able to work with your team members, the marketers, the principals, obviously, AmeriLife Academy, all of you that make life happen every day in your organization and environment. It's a very special thing. I work with performers at all levels. I've trained with military special forces, fighter pilots, Space Command, Navy SEALs, special forces across the board. I do a lot of work with local police across the country, SWAT teams. I've been in corporate America for 20 years, dealing with stress and pressure of all different variations and forms and shapes and sizes. And now with this post, coronavirus 2.0, we're all looking at life and adjusting differently. And we're all trying to figure out our way. I've trained a lot in professional sport. In almost any sport you can think of within reason, I've been in. I love racing. I've trained over 40 race car drivers in IndyCar, NASCAR, Formula One, sports car, NHRA. I love sport. I love racing specifically, but I appreciate human performance. So my first story was when I entered into the racing world, they asked what I did. And I said, how many engineers do you have? And they told me, and I said, how many human engineers do you have? And they're like, I don't know what that is. I'm like, that's what I do. I do the same thing to the automobile, the aero package, the engine, the brakes, the wet and dry systems, and all the technology wrapped around that. I do that with the driver from a mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical capacities, which are like four wheels on the same human car. And that's who we are. So what I'll start with in this training protocol, and I do this in corporate America every day, is the performance management side of who we are, communication, how to effectively communicate. I typically say that's like the engine oil to the car. If you take that out, your engine is going to lock up very quickly because of heat and expanding parts, obviously. So communication is really important, and how to win in an attitude, a mentality in a negative environment or a negative world. And I don't have to tell any of you, we live in a really negative society right now where it's they versus them, us versus you. We've lost this sense of global team, even national team. And I think that's something that needs to be recaptured. So how do we win in that type of negative environment? I have to carve out my own attitude. The word attitude, tude, which means arrogance, actually, tude. But how do you take arrogance and make it positive? You take the arrogance out and you convert arrogance to confidence. And that's part of the protocol. Hey, look, if I beat you on a good day or you beat me on a good day, I don't have to denigrate you, downgrade you, look badly and down at you. I just said, you beat me today. You were the better performer today, or I was a better performer today. So the attitude, attitude, is really the difference in how I, we, and it works. The I being us as individual team members, the we being teams itself, and then the it being the overall organization. In this case, the AmeriLife umbrella and persons that are involved and other companies that you impact every single day. How to proactively identify problems and create solutions. Not just complain about the problems. I've been a consultant my whole career and a coach. And my job is not to give athletes or performers talent, is to take that talent and improve it by 1%, 2%, 3%, whatever I can get out of them to help them achieve at a higher level at all those break points of who we are mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And to create a call of action in ourselves, the I, in our teams, the we, and the it, our organization, the clients that we're reaching out to. How do we create a plan of action that says there's urgency involved? You could leave money on the table by not doing a deal here. You could actually have ongoing health issues if you don't become a benefactor of your own health and wellness system, who you are in those capacities of mind, body. And then I use a performance metrics that I use not only with biometrics, but with tabling systems, survey systems. And we nail this down to be very, very specific on how we perform before, during, and after a conference call, before, during, and after an event. in a fighter pilot's world before, during, and after a flight. How do I help those pilots do better? Listen, I don't tune the aircraft. I don't fuel the aircraft. I don't mechanize the aircraft. I don't put munitions on the aircraft. I train the navigator how to get in that aircraft and know what they've already been trained to do out of my sphere of training, but help them know how to prepare, execute, and come back safely. So in the Air Force, in the fighter pilot world, they call that a win cycle. It's we plan for a mission. Mission usually comes from the Pentagon, and it says, hey, here's what we're going to do. Fighter pilots, they don't really have a say-so in the mission. That comes down from higher ranks. So they get a plan. Secondly, then they brief on the plan. Now it's up to them to say, how do we get ready and prepared in our mind, body, and aircraft worthiness to match that plan? The third thing they do is they execute. It's flight day. They actually go out and take care of the target that they need to take care of and return home safely. The fourth thing they do is they debrief that mission. They don't blame people for what happened, what went right, what went wrong. They take their patches off. It's pilot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's how we can improve what happened. Here's how we could potentially save more lives and protect ourselves as team members. Remember, I, we, and it, right? So that debrief is very, very important. And I find companies don't always go through a plan, even though we have goals, we have values, we have mission, we have strategic values that we're working on. So we have a plan, but briefing that plan on a regular basis, daily in some cases, and then being able to execute that plan during the phone call, during the visit, during the actual presentation, and then debrief what was good, bad, and ugly about it, and how do we improve that? And the last thing is the fifth part of that win cycle is celebrate. That's win. We celebrate because we did the best we could with what we had in that situational moment. How do we do that? And I find a lot of us as corporate performers don't celebrate enough. You should be celebrating every single day. And part of the protocol of performance under pressure is knowing how to plan, brief, debrief, and then celebrate that process, and then enjoy that and be able to go back into the fight with healthy recovery. So I talk about stress and recovery a lot. I got coined as a stress doctor years ago. I do a lot of work with the media, national, international, local, and I'm constantly asked to come in during tragedies, unfortunately, and talk about, the human capital side of an event, whether it was a school shooting, whether it was a tsunami, a 9/11, earthquake, hurricane, whatever the situation might be. How do we find quiet times and healthy healing portions during tragedy? And that's what I've spent my career learning how to do and training others to do. So this protocol of performance under pressure, and the last piece of it is recognition. Hey, if you've done something well, tell them they've done it well. That's parenting 101. That's leadership corporate America 101. That's team management 101. If you do a great job, I'm going to praise you and I'm going to tell you. If you don't do a great job, I'm going to tell you and we're going to work on correcting. That's what good coaching does. And then the actual reward part. What do you actually get? Listen, if you're a professional athlete or you're in the corporate space as you are, and if you're expecting a bonus and you go put in the hard work and you do the work and you don't get the bonus, that doesn't work well. That doesn't breed team. That doesn't breed, hey, you told me, I did it, and now we don't do that. So this recognition reward is also very, very important. So remember, performance under pressure is learning how to convert bad stress to good stress, or threat to challenge responses, I call it, and knowing how to do that at will, on demand, every single day. What we do before, during, and after a call, before, during, and after a meeting, before, during, and after we go home at night, and love on those that we care the most about. So really glad to be with you today. I look forward to sharing more of the philosophy of performance under pressure. And again, special thanks to the whole entire AmeriLife team, marketers, principals, AmeriLife Academy. I'm excited to be a part of you. Looking forward to next steps. So make it a great day. And remember, celebrate something today for you.